Welcome to today's webinar. Today, as you know, we are going to talk about Zoho Creator. In this webinar, we are going to talk about automating Zoho Creator in your business processes. We have here Abdul, Sunil, and Jatin. The three of them have tons of experience with Zoho Creator. Under our company, they created a bunch of applications. Some of them are really big for big companies doing cool automations. We have here Gaia, my sweet daughter. Hello, Gaia. She will help us with the moderation. I already see that people starting to load questions on the left side. So please continue. Gaia will read those questions and the team will answer. And I'm here just to give you company. Okay, Gaia, let's begin.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. Starting off with question number one, we have a good one. It's what types of business processes can be automated using Zoho Creator?
That's a good one.
All the complex application where we don't have the native solution. So suppose like I want to work on any automation where I want to have a kind of pop-up. So whenever I'm logging in the screen, it should open some kind of pop-up. It is not possible in the default application like Zoho CRM and also like any other application of Zoho. So it is not possible. So whenever we want to build a complex application, and there is also like some more type of use cases, like if I want to have offline access. So suppose I'm in an area where I don't have internet access, but whenever I'm going to any place where I'm getting the Wi-Fi access or internet access, it should sync with my database. So that kind of use cases can also be covered with Zoho Creator. But yeah, we have a lot of use cases we can cover with Zoho Creator.
In addition to that, in addition to that, I would say, so we can use Zoho Creator in all of the applications where we need like a mobile application or a web application. So like a mobile friendly web application. So all of the things where we need a specific use case, where we need a client interaction so that they can use client portals. So all of the things where we need the client interaction, I think Zoho Creator is really a good solution for those cases.
As for automation, is it like Zoho CRM that you will have a workflow section and this is where you will set the automations?
Yeah, it is exactly similar as Zoho CRM, but it also provides some more trigger like on load. So suppose when the screen has been loaded, I want to perform some action. So that kind of like trigger is also possible in Zoho Creator.
Okay, fantastic.
You know, the major selling point that Zoho is giving to Zoho Creator is it's a low code platform. So imagine when you want to create any custom solution in outside Zoho world, it's tons and tons of work, and you need to create the backend, the server, database, front end, a lot of people involved. It's a huge thing. So that's the main use case of Zoho Creator. So when you need something custom, there's nothing in the world that pre-built, and you want to make something at very reasonably in a low cost environment, you know.
I think it's a huge point that you don't need to have to maintain servers, maintain code base and so on. It's all in one place. So I think it's a very good proposition. So Gaia, let's go to question number 2.
Question number 1 was answered perfectly, and now off of that we have a question of how do I get I think it sounds perfect. So question going off of that, we have how do you actually get started with creating a workflow in Zoho Creator?
Okay, how can we?
Currently, I have one dummy application which I have open here. Now, whenever we are, let me just go to the Access application. So whenever we are accessing the Zoho application, we are finding this type of screen. Normally, we just need to click on this icon in order to edit this application, and only the admin will have the privileges here. And once we are going here, we have multiple parts like design, workflow, and settings. In order to create workflow, we need to click on this workflow icon. And here we can create multiple workflow. I can click on new workflow. I can select the form on which I want to add workflow. Suppose I want to add a workflow on customer form. Here I can define the trigger, whether it should be on created, edited, both created and edited. And here we can define which exactly is going to trigger the workflow. whether it is on the field update, on load of form, on user input of field, like that, and also on submission. Like this is the validation. So like whenever form is submitted, I want to have some kind of validation. And then it is on successful submission. We also have like deleted. So that's how we can create workflow in Zoho Creator.
Got it. So it's really like Zoho CRM. So you have the workflow, you need to select what you want to do on a specific module. And then you have basically the trigger, what needs to happen. You have probably some kind of set of criteria, and then you have some actions that you can take. Is that correct?
Is correct, yeah. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. So I think
one point to add here regarding the workflows. So I have a thumb rule when creating a workflow. So before doing, it's for common people, even for developers. Before doing any workflows, do it manually once, so that you will know what you are going to do and what you will get out of it. So, without knowing the destination, without knowing what it actually want, doing it manually, no one will ever know. So
that's a fantastic actually tip. I would add one more thing before even. So I'm usually just scrabbling. I'm creating, boxes, and I'm saying, okay, if that happens, then in this criteria and this action, and then as Abdul said, try to do it manually, see if that works fine, and if everything is good, then proceed to basically what Jatin told you and create the automation. Thank you. Okay, Gaia. Next.
Great. Next question. Can Zoho Creator integrate with my existing CRM and other Zoho applications for automation?
I like to take a shot on that because it's more on the business side, the way I see it anyway. We had many cases that the Zoho CRM was not able to fulfill the business case, which means, let's say, we have a deal. This deal is supposed to load a bunch of contractors with specific criteria. There is no way to do it inside of the deal module. So we created a Zoho Creator application that's loading related vendors based on the products and so on of the deal, and they will receive an email joining the portal and so on. So there are lots of usages that Creator can be blended into the CRM, and it's super cool. Guys, anybody wants to expand on that?
Yes, that is correct. Like we can connect Zoho Creator with CRM and we can fulfill various use cases, which is not possible with the native solution. So in past, like we have worked on multiple projects where we are not able to complete some functionality with Zoho CRM. Then we are using Zoho Creator. We are either doing the complete thing, or sometimes we are also syncing only one module of Zoho CRM. So suppose like I have contact module, I want to sync that one. I can click on a button. It is loading all the details from CRM. And then we can perform all the custom action which we want to achieve in Zoho Creator.
Okay. Gaia? Next.
Okay, next question. What are the best practices for designing an efficient approval process in Zoho Creator?
Can you do an approval process in Zoho Creator?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay. And can you show us how that can be done? The click.
So let me just go from start because I don't want you to struggle for finding out where is approvals. So now you can go to edit application, and in the same way as we created the workflow, we just need to click on this workflow. And here we have multiple things. We have form workflow, scheduler, then we have approvals, payments, blueprint, batch workflow, and report workflow. So suppose I want to set up our approval. I can go here. I can create a workflow for approval. I can choose the form. So it is on add customer, and I'm going to make it like
I see.
customer.
So the approval will be one of the actions on a workflow.
Yeah,
is that correct?
It is like, It is a little bit different because it is coming in the same section, but here, like normally whenever we are setting up the approval, it is coming from the same option, but it is not some kind of action from workflow. So the UI is kind of same.
So the UI is the
And
same, but I
here-
see that the functionality is completely different.
Exactly. So here you can see I can select the user, I can select the role, I can even select the user from a field.
Mhm.
Currently, I'm selecting a user and I am defining Abdul as approver. Now, this is the approve label. I can also change it to anything else. And here we have the denied label. We can also see like rejected. If I want to call it something else, I can call it. And now I'm going to set up approval process. And here I can define the condition. So suppose I want to have some condition here. So suppose like if, let's say address contains USA. So if country contains USA, let me just do it, contains United, then it is going to send this approval process. So that's how I can have some kind of condition, and it is going to send email if I want to add it. And also I have multiple things like on approve, I can send an email, on rejected, I can send an email. So that's how this entire functionality is working.
Some of the things that I saw as a limitation in Zoho CRM is that it's difficult to create an approval process based on percentage of a deal or some smart logic. Is that easier on the creator side?
Yeah, it is very easier because here we can also have some kind of function, we can also have some kind of condition, and based on that we can create a smart logic for this approval. So suppose I want to have some kind of condition, I can do that one, then I'm going to have the different level of approval. So currently it is like level 1 approval. If I also want to add another approver, I can do that one, and it is also possible. So I can do it based on role, and then it is going to be level 2 approval, and so on.
Okay, I think it's super clear. Anybody wants to expand on that, or we'll go to the next question? Super cool. Okay, Gaia, let's go.
Next question. How can I ensure data security and compliance when automating processes with Zoho Creator?
So I think they have like 1 billion security certificate out of the box, right?
Yeah, like for HIPAA compliant, I already aware like they do have the HIPAA compliant. For other security protocol, they might have, but I'm not that much aware. So maybe team can expand some light on it.
I can expand a little bit on that. So if you go to zoho.com/security.html, and then on the left side, you will click on the compliance, you will see all the certificates that Zoho has. It's serious. It's a serious list. They have a bunch of certifications. I'm not sure how many companies out there will have so many security and compliance certifications. Super remarkable. It's awesome. As Gaia is saying all the time, super cool. Super cool. Okay. Anyone wants to expand on that? Okay. In terms of security, let's stay here 1 second. When creating an application on Zoho Creator, can you do something that will make it not secure? Can you screw up somewhere that will make it bad?
Yeah, like if we are publishing the pages or report and we are embedding it, then everybody can access data online. So suppose like I have a report, I am making it publish. If somebody has that URL, they can access all the data. So we just need to be like very careful whenever we are publishing those report, because once somebody has those URL, they can access all the information.
So someone that is doing that's supposed to know how to use it so they won't screw up.
Exactly.
But it is possible to make it secure if you know what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Good. Next guy.
Next question. Are there any limitations to the complexity of workflows I can create in Zoho Creator?
Okay, I have no clue.
I'm also thinking about the limitation because with Creator, we can create a lot of complex workflow. There is some kind of limitation which I'm aware about is like the execution time. Because whenever we are calling any Zoho, like any third-party application or something else, there is some execution time with Zoho allowed. I think currently it is 40 seconds. So whatever we need to do, it should be completed within 40 seconds. There might be some more like limitation as well, like what is the number of record and what is the number of lines of code we can add in one script. I think it is 5,000 lines of code, or whenever we are doing it, even in the iteration basis. So there are some limitation. I'm not exactly sure about it, but yeah, there are many limitation about it.
It's 5,000. That's exactly, I read it before. It's not lines, it's iteration. So it's, imagine you have a for and you have 100 items, 100 items in the list, and you just only have one line inside the for loop, but it will count 100 iterations. So, and it's only 5,000. In CRM, we don't have the limitation, but unfortunately, in Creator, we have that.
And in your career, which I know that you're doing it for many years, how many times you reached a wall, like a limit that it's basically stopping your project?
I reached one time.
Just
that
one
was a
time?
that was a very complex project. I need to read, I think, around 15,000 record from a third-party application, and then I have to do some kind of workaround. I was able to bypass that one, but yeah, I reached that particular limitation.
Wow, nice. Sunil?
I feel times.
Not so far, but because every time I have to work on the functions logic, I need to do it smartly. So I work it like I do the logic based on the like, so that I always avoid avoid to hit that limit. So yeah.
Nice.
So as long as our the functions logic is correct, I think as long as the data is not that much and it's not too complicated, I don't think we are going to hit that limit. It is there, but it is very rare to hit the limit.
Abdul, your experience?
Yeah, I faced it quite a few times because it's complex, and like Sunil said, the data is so much data. So I worked on a widget part, and it need to read data, and the functions will return lots of data. So that's kind of complex project, and having a lot of data that will eventually fill out. So the solution for that is to give a break to that function and let it run after few minutes using a separate form, and have a timer based, like a scheduler, and then run it again after. That's the solution we did for that issue. But yeah, in most cases it won't come, but in rare cases for complex projects, it will hit the limit.
So I do know that sometimes we have projects with tons of records, and I do know that we're slicing it. I don't know if in Creator we can also do that, but there will be lots of, we can. Okay, so there is a way to bypass. Okay.
And the best thing about Creator, because in CRM, we have a scheduler minimum 10 minutes. But in CRM, like in Zoho Creator, we can make it just 1 minute delay. So suppose like I'm creating a processing module or processing form in Zoho Creator, I can do it like whenever a record created here, after 1 minute, I can run another function. Or I can also do it based on date time field, and it is quite instant. So it is not like I need to wait for like 10 minutes to have that particular functionality run. In Zoho Creator, it is quite fast. So it can be only 1 minute delay and it is doing the job.
I know that Abdul created something cool. Only one time. I'm joking. So one of the projects was super cool. A client uploaded to work drive bunch of files. Those files had significant amount of records, much more than the limit that you are talking about. And the script was running over a bunch of records. And then after a few minutes running on another batch, and whenever it's finishing the entire file, pushing it to archive and then continue to the rest of the files. So this is in the department of the super cool. Okay, so Gaia, let's try to take the one last question for this webinar. We're going to have more webinars in the future. So obviously join and we'll reach to your questions. And by the way, I see lots of questions that we cannot answer during this webinar. I promise you, each one of you will receive an email with an answer to your question. So everybody will get an answer. Answers for everyone. Okay, yeah, let's do the last one.
Okay, last question. Can you provide examples of real-life businesses that have successfully automated their processes with Zoho Creator?
Many. Okay, let's do one
I have
each.
many.
Yeah, just let's do one each and yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to talk about my very first Creator application I have built. So that was a company they are using the Creator application for having tests for driving license. So what they are doing, they have a portal, the drivers will log in there, and after that they are asking bunch of questions which is mostly related to driving, how they can, what type of signal they need to stop and all those things. And after that it was printing some kind of certificate for them. So that was the first Creator application I built, and it has a lot of forms because they have different type of licenses, like for trucks, for light vehicles and all those things. So they are providing some learning license to them, and that was quite amazing.
Okay.
In my case, the first my first Creator application was for a network provider, like it was a networking company, and in their case they were providing internet and all. And then in their case, the use case was they have their technicians who visit on site. They have to visit the on site, and then finding the issues and then logging those issues, like getting the signature from the client and then uploading photos. So there were a lot of things that they need to do. So it was like one portal for technician and then one portal for open request for the management side. So there were a lot of things that were there. So we handled I created the first application for that company, and it was really awesome, and it was really a successful application.
Awesome. Abdul?
My side, initially I created a very complex, it's like I think a third application I created. So the project is they have a portal, and user need to, the customers need to purchase a motor. You know, the motor that pumps the water from the underground. So that's what they are selling. So users will have multiple requirements. So this is kind of what's the HP, what's the configuration. There are a lot of configurations when it comes to motor. So user will provide all the configurations. There are a lot of formulas involved. You, based on this number, it will have this accessory based on the number, like that. So a lot of formulas involved, and with all the filters and all the requirements that user provides, at the end we will come up with one single product with all the information, what all the requirements that the end user need, and that searching and filtering and all the formula kind of stuff, and finally providing a code for that selected product. So that's the first project I built.
Very cool. I didn't build any project, so I cannot talk about it. Okay, very cool. So guys, thank you very much for joining this webinar. In the left side on the bottom, I posted another link if you want to join to the next webinar. The next one is going to be super technical. It will be about scripting. So if you are one of our students, or you are basically anyone out there that wants to join a technical creator webinar, so next month, this is for you. So I will see you next month. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, panel. Thank you, everybody.